Hey guys, this is gonna be Did I Read My February TBR? And the books I finished in February because I like to choose a small amount. That way I can choose more on my own when the time comes. But these are the books that I had on my TBR. Oh, okay. 4 of them. And I did read all of them. And 1, 2, 3.5 more. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like 7.5 books. And that's pretty good because 2 of them were very long. But the first book I read of the month was my reread of House with Sky and Bread. And I tabbed it this time. Pretty cool. And I'm obsessed with Crescent City. I don't know why. I wasn't the first time I read it, and now I'm obsessed. I'm literally wearing a Crescent City necklace because I'm obsessed. But next book I read, I bet you couldn't guess it, is House of Flame and Shadow. And I had a great time. Like, I was just theorizing the whole entire time, having a great time. And yeah, I was a little annoyed with Bryce. But I'm just gonna forget that ever happened, and the things she said, I'm just gonna forget it. I'm out of my brain, ignoring all that. But yeah, I loved it. I also tabbed it, and I tabbed a lot more than I thought, but I needed to know what was going on, and I will continue to ask questions. But the next book, it's not the next one, is it? No. The next book I read was A Fragile Enchantment by Alison Saft, and this is the Fairy Loot edition. It's really pretty, and I had it like facing this way, so the pink is out, and it's beautiful. And this book is about this girl. Do I remember her name? Absolutely not. So I guess it's not that memorable, is it? Nim? It's Niamh. And I said Nim, but couldn't tell you how to actually say that. But she is a seamstress. This is the prince. He's getting married. He's making his clothes. And obviously they fall in love. And it's a Regency time period. And she can sew emotions into her clothes. I almost cried at one scene, if that's saying anything. So, but then again, I didn't really remember what it was about, so forgettable, but in the moment, I had a great time. Then the next, oh, sorry, my dog is sitting right here. But next I read The Scarlet Alchemist. This is also the Fairy Loot edition, and I had it facing out this way, like right here. Very pretty. It's a dark YA fantasy, and I ignored the dark part in my brain because it was way darker than I expected it to be, which is kind of crazy. But I just never read something that's like dark like this, and I loved it. I really did. I love the Chinese mythology, and it's about, I don't remember her name either. I'm just bad with names. Okay, I'm bad with names, so that's just my issue. But her name is Zillan. Okay, I'm sorry, look at this. This is Hong and Zillan. They're so pretty. And then her brother and sister are on the back. Let me show you that too. Like, it's so beautiful. Look at the under. I'm getting distracted. But this book is about Zillan, and she wants to be a royal alchemist. So they have to go take their like imperial exams, like across China basically. And it's about the trials to get in to being a royal alchemist, and then what happens after that. And there's a prince in it. His name's Hong, and I have never seen a male character portrayed in that way, and I really liked it. I'll be searching for a character that will be like him, and I want the second book badly because I want to see him, and I loved it. Also, I don't do star ratings because I'm too indecisive, but just the general vibe. So those were the 4 books on my TBR that I did read, and then I read some extra ones. So the first one I read was The Duke and I, the first book in the Bridgerton series. It's about Daphne and Simon, and I like the show better, and the chapters are very long. Very, very, very long, like 30-40 pages long, and I don't have the brain capacity for that. So I listened to it, but all the rest of them I'm gonna have to listen. There's no way I could actually read these. But this is the Illumicrate edition, and it's beautiful, and they're all gonna line up once I read them. And they're gonna go, I know you can't see it, but it's gonna be a little rainbow right here. It's gonna be beautiful. Then I read The Poisoner's Ring, and the first book in the series, I'll just pull it up, is A Rip Through Time. It's by Kelly Armstrong, and this one is about a detective who's visiting her grandma in Edinburgh, but she gets attacked and then sent back in time because, like, in the 1800s, a girl got attacked in the same exact place, so they, like, switched bodies. So now Mallory, the main character, is in the other girl's body in her time, like in the 1800s, and it's about what happens there. And there's a murder mystery, and I did guess it in this one. And then this one is another murder mystery when she's still in that time period, and she, like, works for a forensic scientist, is what I'll call him, I guess. They don't call them that at the time. But I also guessed this one, which I was pretty proud of. I kind of like it when I guess it because it makes me feel really smart. But I enjoyed it, and it's mostly like her inner monologue about what she's thinking in the exact moment of what's going on, which I didn't expect to like. Like, I like it when characters are, like, communicating back and forth, but I really enjoy, like, her thought process. It's also, I wish there was a little bit of romance, just a little bit, because the doctor, I want them to be together, and they held hands. I almost cried. They literally held him one time for a split second, and I'll take whatever I can get, honestly. I will. And then the third one in that series comes out in May, and I will be reading that when the time comes. But look at the spines together, they're very pretty. And then the last book I read was Midnight Ruin by Katie Robert. I've read all the other ones, they're like right here. That's what I think about the book. I will never think about this again. It's about, I don't even know how to explain it. It's about Eurydice, Charon, I don't know if that's how you say it, and then Orpheus. I don't like people telling me what to do. I really don't. And what does Charon do this whole entire time? Tell them both what to do, and when they do things on their own, he gets mad. Maybe some people like that. That's fine. Not me, though. Not me. I just kept getting the ick the whole time. One time he said, "We are endgame." If someone ever said that to me, I might throw up. Genuinely. I actually enjoyed every other book in the series except for this, and I was really excited for this one because I like the story of Eurydice and Orpheus. But this is a no from me. This is a no from me, but that's okay. It was short, and I read it in less than 24 hours, so it's whatever. But now I can hold them all up to you and show you what I read, and then I'll show you my current read. Oh my god. Here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. I just don't love that on the side. But my current read, it's kind of a little combobulated right here, is What the River Knows. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. It's about Inez, and her parents go missing in Egypt, and I'm not sure if they're archaeologists or they just work in archaeology, and I majored in archaeology in college, so I had high hopes because I'm also obsessed with ancient Egypt. And how far am I feel like I'm about 100 pages, 110 pages. There's been no archaeology, but I have 300 more, so I can't really complain yet. So I'm hoping I will gain some in here, but it's also historical, 1800s. And the archaeologists then, no bueno. The methods they used were just not the same as we have now, and I'm scared that I'm gonna get annoyed, like, reading about the methods, and then, like, we just don't do that today, and I'll be annoyed, or that it'll be wrong. But Inez is from Argentina, and a lot of the stuff is in Spanish, and one of the other characters speaks, like German and French, and there's a lot of different languages, and it's like written in her dialect, like words are spelled differently because that's how she would say them, which I think that is really interesting, and I really like that. But I'm hoping to finish this in March, but right now I haven't finished. And then I put the cover on the other one because this is the edges on my fairy loot one, so I want to have the edges out, but I like the spine of this one better. So this is gonna go on this one, and then this is gonna go this way, so it'll look like this together. And then they're gonna go on this shelf right here, because my romance books are right here, so they're like pretty colorful. And then the Bridgerton books are gonna go right here, so like the rainbow, and then I'm gonna put like pastel colored books right here, and I think it's gonna look so good. So yeah, that's all the books I read in February, and I read all the books on my TBR, so I'm so excited, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.